I'm John Byer, and this is my 85 Chevy Sprint. It has a 1 liter 3-cylinder engine, putting out 48 horsepower in 1985. I think she's lost some of that now. Of course, she's also lost some weight. Perfect. Okay, so this is my bed. Basically, it's just a little wood frame with a couple of Crazy Creek chairs on top of for padding, a Mexican blanket, and an old Union Carbide blanket. So that's plenty long enough for me to sleep on, completely straight. It's actually a little bit more room than my truck, and I'm 6 feet tall. So if I need to get under here, like I've got tools, which was the idea, is I can just pull them out. But if I've got anything bigger than that toolbox, I can open this compartment, and I've got access to everything in the back. I've got a compressor, a jack, tow strap, safety vest, jumper cables, and a bike lock, so I can lock this thing to a tree so nobody steals it. This switch here is the power control switch for the stereo, the cigarette lighter, USB charger, and PA and CB. So position 1 is just like a regular car. You turn the key on, and the stereo comes on. Turn the key off, stereo turns off. But I wanted to listen to the radio when I'm parked, so what I did is added a separate condition. This will stay on 100% of the time, whether or not the keys are in the ignition. This light is just an indicator to let me know if my primary battery is discharging into my starting battery. If I put the key in, you can see that, yes, my primary battery, which is a deep cycle, is in fact discharging into the starting battery. This is because I've been moving the car and starting the car. So once we turn the alternator on, we can see that the light goes off because they're both getting the same charge from the alternator. This car is the basically the base of the base of the base model. It's the ER, which means extended range. That means it has a slightly higher final drive ratio, and it does not have air conditioning. This is where it would be. So this is the CB and PA. Usually I just throw the microphone under the bed. If I'm going to be using it a lot, it can hook anywhere here. If it's blocking anywhere on the stereo, just move it to a different position. So since I don't have an antenna right now, it's just a PA system. So if I wanted to use it while I was stationary, I could do that, flip on the radio, PA. Okay, if I recline the authentic Recaro seat, behind you can see the primary battery base. This is an 85 amp hour deep cycle battery. This is what powers most of the car. So every circuit in the car basically runs off this as if this were the only car battery. It just so happens to be deep cycle. This has a 4-gauge wire that runs underneath the car to the front under the hood. So this is the battery isolator. So basically we take the power coming off the alternator and we split it to 2 separate batteries. This is going to be the rear battery. This is going to be the vehicle's primary battery. So all the vehicle systems, that's headlights, that's radio, that's heated seats that I don't have. Everything runs off that except this battery. This battery does one thing, and that powers the starter. That's the most amp draw on the entire system. Okay, so a traditional battery isolator setup would be energy from the alternator comes in, it sends it to 2 batteries, keeping them separate. One battery is the car battery, just as it would regularly be. It runs the stereo, runs the headlights, runs the starter, runs everything. And the other battery would be an auxiliary battery that you would tap into for refrigeration or whatever power needs you would have. So this is different because what this does is separates the function of the car battery. So this car battery now doesn't do anything but the starter. Now, the other battery, the deep cycle battery, that controls all the other vehicle functions, the radio, the headlights, everything. And what that allows me to do is use the deep cycle battery to control the vehicle. So I can charge my phone, I can listen to a radio, I can run headlights if I need to. I can run that battery all the way down, and as long as it's got enough to trigger the starter solenoid, I don't have to get out here and put a paper clip on there and jump those 2 terminals and have a full starting charging battery.
Might want to cover your ears.
Among the features this car has is a chrome ashtray on the B-pillar. It has a spare oil compartment. And the reason that gets so dirty is because I had to cut out the fenders. I had to cut out the fenders because my tires were too big. Put away a significant portion of the wheel well, but it still bottoms out occasionally, so I do have to be careful with it. Now the ER was the package on the Sprint that stood for extended range. Basically the transmission had a higher final drive. That means this thing is geared super high, especially with these big tires on it. Now this came with some snow tires on it, on some Nissan wheels that didn't really fit, had a pretty bad wobble. So I found these on OfferUp, except the offset was wrong, so I just cut out the inside. I think the front fit fine, I had to cut out the back. That's what I added these Fender Flares. These were sort by price on eBay. These were $14. Position 2. This is on all the time. Disconnect. Oh god damn it, I probably ruined that whole fucking tape. God. This is the CB and PA system. Currently I don't have an antenna because some rat bastard stole it. Got a nice oil caddy here. Keep it shot of oil. Don't worry about the bed. It gets dirty.